The men going their own way, mgtow movement has grown in the West since the turn of the century for two main reasons. First, the demands of ninth-wave feminism have made men's lives steadily worse, which is the main thing that has driven the movement. Second, the internet has made collaboration easier than anything else in human history. It's going to be 28 years since I joined the mgtow group. The red pill rage that I felt for the first 10 years has been gone for a long time. I've protected myself from most of the bad things about the feminist plague by avoiding marriage and long-term relationships that lead to living together. The only thing that hasn't helped is the terrible tax rates. For me, the unfairness of the law has gotten so bad that there is no possible situation, no woman so stunningly beautiful, smart, or desirable that would be worth the big risks that come with the current social chaos and its terrible legal system. Some people say that feminism has reached its lowest point, but I don't see that. Its unholy union with the Marxist regressive left almost ensures that it will fall even more into tyranny and extreme ideologies. It will take decades to clean up the left's corruption of the West's institutions if it can be done safely at all. This is true even if the lowest point has been hit. I would say that it is almost impossible to get a vote majority to give up rights they haven't earned in order to make real change unless society is falling apart. Many mgtows at different stages of their post-traumatic journey of self-discovery and wisdom have become good advocates and therapists for new red pill escapees who are putting their lives back together. I'll admit that I'm still a recovering romantic who sometimes goes off the wagon, but over the years I've happily gained a sense of balance and serenity, which is like a peace dividend that can help you find your way to personal fulfillment. It's become clear to me and many other guys that mgtow's real goal is the increased freedom that comes from following one's own interess, managing one's own resources, and making one's own choices about one's future. Today, when people are constantly watched, there is no such thing as real freedom. But you can get a lot closer to that ideal once you cut the physical and mental ties that hold you to society's harmful standards of male servitude. Which brings me to the question of what mgtow means by self-actualization. Since I made it through the 5 stages of grief almost 20 years ago, where has my journey taken me since then? Coltane, an Australian mgtow philosopher who wrote about this question a few years ago, makes the most sense to me. Australia seems to be full of runaways from the farm. Based on Abraham Maslow's pyramidal system, he looked at how men and women set priorities for their needs in different ways. The first 4 levels of Maslow's pyramid are called deficiency needs. They are health, safety, love, belonging, and respect. Coltane makes a strong case that men and women show these needs in different ways. At the end of this post, I'll put a link to his video, but I won't go over all of his points again here. I'll just expand on his ideas about self-actualization. When women have met their basic needs and are on the path to self-actualization, they often set up closed-loop systems that feed back on themselves to make the sisterhood stronger. Some examples are the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, which doesn't look at how gender affects domestic violence, ignoring the work of male historians, philosophers, and intellectuals to push a theory of patriarchy, twisting real biological science to make gender construct nonsense, and starting groups like Emily's List that promote women's health care, equal pay, paid leave for painful periods, and pro-choice fetishism. Not that great things don't get done. It's just that these successes serve their real goal of female dominance. Blue pill men carry water for this process on both the left and the right. White knights and manginas give women extra attention by using victimhood tropes. Traditional conservatives do the same thing by putting women on goddess pedestals just because they're ladies. Society's false ideas about both women's and men's lack of freedom are strengthened by these actions. If the reader hasn't heard of these ideas before, the easiest way to describe them is to talk about Bonnie and Clyde, 2 bank thieves who lived in the 1930s. Bonnie in real life was a violent psychopath, but her lack of agency means she is not responsible for what they did together. On the other hand, Clyde is hyperactive and takes both his and her blame. Men are only said to have power when they reach self-actualization. The results of exceptional people include scientific discoveries like thermodynamics, calculus, quantum physics, and relativity. Exploration, on land, sea, in the air, and in space. Technological advances like the internal combustion engine, the electrical grid, computers, the internet, and smartphones. And many more things that help everyone. Altruism probably doesn't have much to do with what drives them. People just enjoy making things for the sake of feeling like they've accomplished something. If success follows, that's great. Many men work hard their whole lives and do great things, but they are only recognized after they die if they are recognized at all. Still, their happiness during the years when they are working hasn't changed. There are, of course, women in this esteemed group. whether they work in health, the arts, science, or something else. But as the saying goes, the odd case shows the rule to be true. So only a few men who get past their deficiency needs to become self-actualized will reach fame. But this doesn't matter for people who just want to be left alone to follow their own interests. For example, they might want to become a great fly fisherman or fix up an old car. All of these are good goals if they lead to real action. At the end of the day, what's really satisfying is being free to follow these dreams. mgtow only needs to get off the life-sucking hamster wheel of social standards to feel the thrill of a world of opportunities that has always been right in front of them.